Hello guys, how are you today?
Yes,
Hello.
Sarah. Hello, everyone.
We are good.
It's
How are
really
you?
nice seeing your faces. Thank you. Good.
Yeah,
And yeah, even if it's a different environment, but it is what it is during COVID, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I will say let's get started. I'm just gonna share my screen, and
sure.
as you guys know, we're here today just to discuss our user stories. And so here is everything. So I was thinking, guys, in order to give the story points to each story, I think affinity estimation should be the one that we should use it today. What everybody thinks.
I agree with it. I agree with affinity
I think it's
estimation.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why aren't we going with planning poker? Because since we have only three user stories, it will be really good to know what all we are thinking for each story point. It will be democratic, and we'll get to know what all thoughts and ideas and what all we need for each story point.
In my
That's
opinion,
a
it's
good
more,
point.
finite estimation is more time efficient. Yeah, in terms of time, it's more efficient. So I think it's better
Yeah.
than taking this.
That
And we don't
also,
have cards as well, so
given also that we're online and it's like pretty hard for us, everybody, to find a right timing for us. Like we have every time different schedules, and that affinity estimating it's the most successful one when it comes to time wise. So that's the reason why I think it should be the most efficient one in this case. What is everybody? Are you good with that, Param?
yeah. I also think affinity estimation should be used because it will be hard to set up the Fibonacci sequence for planning poker and the distance, meetings, time, urgency, and everything. I
yeah.
think
Cool,
it
cool, cool.
should go with that.
Yeah, even now I agree that since our availability is so restricted and we have so much issues regarding all this because going online and all, I guess mm, affinity estimation works for me.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
perfect. So let's move directly to the story. So as you guys know, Sasha is our product owner. So she will share the user story for us, and then I will discuss the ideal time. And if you, Sasha, can start explaining the first user story.
Yeah, of course, no problem. So let's start with the first one. Our first news story is as a purchaser, I need access to a search feature so that I can find the items that I'm searching for. Inputs are customer account and keyboard. And as for output, we have purchasing of the item and the customer account preferences. So what do you think? What's going to be? Okay, let's talk about ideal time. Yeah, why have chosen 50 hours?
So the ideal time, we said that it was 50 hours because it will take as much for a developer. The 50 hours is like around a week in a working day without considering the distraction time. And as usually there is distraction time for each user story. And for here, we estimated a 20% distraction time when it comes up to 10 hours. So the real time will be 60 hours. The matrix allocated allocation, it will be 3 hours per day, assuming an 8 hour day, and which will lead us to 37.5%, and which will lead us to an elapsed time of 20 days. Based on that, based also on the importance of the role for the user story and the urgency of the role and the complexity, what do you guys think for it should be the affinity estimation? As you see here, I added the legend for the sizes of the user stories, like if extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. Based on that, what do you guys think about this?
I'm thinking
Uh,
of like L or XL because it's kind of hard and the complexity and the urgency and importance is kind of high. So I think it's kind of L. Maybe I supposed to be in XL.
yeah,
I
it
think
looks
Excel is
pretty
much better than
complex to
L.
me. Sorry, Bhargav, you can speak.
Yeah, thank you, Param. I think Excel is much better than large for this story. I will assign 32 points to it according to me. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think it's pretty complex as well. As Sasha said, we can go with L or Excel. I'm pretty much inclined toward Excel as well.
Yeah, even I would like to assign the story point Excel because introducing a new feature to a software takes a lot of complexity. It takes of lots of effort and resources because you need to run beta version. You need to just make sure that there is no issues with the new feature coming around and everything is perfect before the feature is rolled out to the public as a whole. And since you need to do beta version, all the resources you need, and it takes a lot of time as well. And considering how important it is for the company, I guess Excel should be this story point for this story.
Yeah, anything that is a new feature, it's kind of a headache sometimes, and we have to keep in mind that it can take long and it's really complex sometimes. And yeah, I will say for an Excel as well.
Okay. Okay,
So,
let's discuss the second one. Yeah, so, okay,
you
user
want
story.
to just explain the user story too, Sasha, please?
Okay, number 2 is as an analyst, I need to be able to see customers' other preferences so that I can analyze those customer preferences. And as for input, we have customer account and customer previous orders, and outputs, customer recommendation list and loyalty of the customer. So what do you think, guys? Is it kind of a hard one, or in my opinion, it's simpler than the previous?
Let's discuss the ideal time
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
So as we decided last time, this should take around 48 hours because it's not as complex as a feature, but it's still gonna take, we will still need to take a lot of information out. Distraction time in here is 16.7%, so it would lead us to 8 hours. So at real time will be as 56 hours allocated to the story. The matrix allocation will be 25%, which will lead us to 2 hours per day, estimate 8 hours a day. And the elapsed time will be 28 days. So say that, as you can see, is a different user story because the other one, it included a new feature, and this one is a little bit less complex. Said that, what do you guys think should be an affinity estimation? I will go for this one with a small, maybe.
Mm,
I,
We can
uh,
even do
I
extra
think
much
small
it's
with it.
harder. I think it's harder than small.
yeah, it's a bit more complex than a small, a medium, a large maybe.
I'm medium because yeah, it's still like if you look at the ideal time, it's 48 hours. Not a big difference in comparison to the first one. So I think it's kind of medium, not as.
Yeah, and to analyze customer preferences, you need to collect a lot of data. A lot of work goes behind the work of collecting the data, and also it's complex. Not as complex as the previous story, but yeah, it's definitely much more complex than small. So I would go for medium.
I'm not too sure, guys, because I think, I understand that it's hours, but at the same time, maybe I don't think it takes a lot of effort.
If you look at the importance of the role and the urgency, both are high, and I think a small would not be ideal for this user story.
Mm, yeah, maybe we can go with the medium. Yeah, because after thinking about it, if you see, like, we will need still some inputs, like the customer previous order and that one. In order to get those inputs, we will need time to look at it. And
Time
yeah,
consumption, definitely. Yeah, so I think yeah, M.
so we can go with medium. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So ideal time will be 48 hours as we discussed, and the size will be medium for the user story number 2. And let's go with the number 3.
Okay, so user story 3. As a developer, I need a list of bugs and errors so that I can fix them, the issues, and modify the app. Inputs identified bugs, and outputs are the exception report and error report. So what about ideal time?
So as you can see, also like the importance, it's medium and the urgency is high. So we decided to go with an ideal time of 45 hours. And distraction time, it will be a 20% in here. So it comes up to 9 hours in total distraction time, which will lead us to a real time of 54 hours. And our matrix allocation will be 37.5%, which will lead us to 3 hours per day, assuming 8 hours a day. And the elapsed time will be 18 days. So for this user story, what do you guys think story point and estimation time should be?
I think like the smallest one, it takes just 45 hours. So it's kind of, I think it's kind of excess, no?
No, I feel like it should be small, considering the urgency is high, but the importance is medium. Also, since we need to the user stories removing of bugs and errors, it's an ongoing process. It will be carried out throughout the uh, existence of the app, so by an app developer. So it's not complex. It won't take that much time of each resource. Maybe only 1 or 2% can sit together to remove the bugs, identify bugs and errors. So, and it's not so complex. So I guess small or excess works for me.
Yeah, when you think about it, since we when using a software is like a Jira or other software that will allow us to change the backlog and just add user stories and also add bugs and bugs and like errors that are in the app, it will be so much easier for someone to just go over it and just basically write it down all the issues that we have and so we can create the bugs, right? So basically when you use a Jira environment or software, it you have the list over there. It's just not really complex. So I wouldn't go with Access. Maybe we can go with the Nest because it's still gonna take some time. So you can see the ideal time is still pretty high. It's not like a low, super low, real like ideal time. But I wouldn't say it's a medium because the medium like it's not as complex as the user story to that we decided to go
Sorry, you
medium.
probably have some internet
So
where
it's the next one is impossible. It's not that complex. So I will maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
are with us.
Sarah online?
Yeah, okay.
Hello?
Like yeah, you just like disappeared for kind of
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
30
sorry,
seconds.
guys. I think some out with my Wi-Fi.
No issues.
But we heard,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I agree with you what you're saying about Jira and the complexity. I think it's still yeah, but so we're like choosing XS or what? Yeah?
I was thinking of small because extra small would be because about the time, right?
Yeah,
So
45 it's still a lot.
Yeah.
it's still a long time, and like an extra small story is something that it will take like it's not complex at all, basically what I feel like it. Because we
Yes.
also have to look at the legend, the time, the points that we're giving us, and just giving 2 points to that story, it seems not enough.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
It will require some resources, right? So at the same
Sure.
time, yeah. So let's just go over it one more time just to make sure that we got all of this done. So for the user story number, so first of all, let's be clear, we decided